News Radio 700 WLW.
And Rock, there's always, it seems like, I don't know. Is it twice a year? Is it once a year that there's always there's a
craze?
A craze.
Yes, something becomes popular, something becomes the must-have item, and in this case, it's the Labubu Craze. Now, I did not know what a Labubu was until we had looked at this article together here, but it's. Think Beanie Babies, right? When those were popular and all of a sudden they were the thing everyone had to have and they were collectible and blah, blah, blah. Well, now Labubus are kind of the same thing. A little stuffed animal cross between a baby and a animal.
And a keychain.
And a keychain. If all those three things, if an animal, a baby, and a keychain got together and had offspring, it would be a Labubu.
Well, and... of course, what's the first thing people are going to say? I'm going to buy me a bunch of these, and I'm going to be rich.
Sit on them for 40 years and hope they come big.
Put my grandkids through college. Is that a good strategy? Well, let's talk to a financial strategist about it. This fellow's been involved in investment, business, government, public affairs for almost 50 years. He's the president of Cotton Wealth Management Associates. He is our friend Steve Cotton. Steve, welcome to the program.
Well, thanks for having me. I love the folks in Cincinnati.
Well, Steve, we love you back. Well, it depends on whether or not you can tell us if we're going to get rich or not buying us a bunch of Labubus.
If you are the designer of these Labubus, you might get temporarily rich, but it sort of reminds me of the old pump and dump schemes where people pump a stock and say, buy shares while you can, while it's available, because it's not going to be available very long. And as soon as the price is bid up, the originators dump it as fast as they can. This is going to be, I think, a lot like the Beanie Baby and the Cabbage Patch fads that were hot for a while and then just completely crashed and left people with inventory of very little value.
So further explain that. I'd always wondered that. Were all those Cabbage Patch Kids that people saved in the 80s and the Beanie Babies that people saved in the, whatever that was, the 90s, 2000s, are any of those, a lot of those worth like real money now, or that was just kind of a promise that never came true?
Well, you can find them at garage sales for $1.50.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, and Ed and I were talking before you came on with this, and I was just saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, you can't artificially create a craze or artificially create something that's going to have value. It kind of comes out of nowhere. And the reason some, Star Wars figures are valuable is because in 1982, nobody thought they would be valuable, and massive amounts of people threw them away, and the fraction of amount of people that held on to them after they came out with the 15th movie, okay, those things are valuable. But I don't think you can't create that day one. It just has to kind of happen, right?
Well, yes, this is an elaborate marketing scheme, and I have to give credit for the people that invent these things. But if you're serious about investing money and growing money and creating wealth long term, you're much better off investing in things that are real, that provide substantive value, goods or services, companies doing those kinds of things. This is akin to buying oceanfront property in Arizona.
Right.
Puts the cheese on the cracker. Right
we're
there.
talking to financial strategist Steve Cotton. And Steve, are people just, it's like buying a lottery ticket, isn't it? I mean, you're just kind of pipe dreaming, and hey, you never know. I buy 100 of these things. Hell, they might be worth $100,000 when I get to be, 50 years old or whatever, if you buy them when you're a kid. I mean, what causes people to believe this kind of hype? Is it just, it's the internet, of course, social media, I got rich off of Beanie Babies.
It's a fad, but the thing is with these Labubu toys, customers buy these in a blind box, so you don't really know what kind of Labubu plush toy you're getting. There is no way to predict what their value is going to be 5 years or even 5 months from now. And, people whose money is precious and they don't feel like they have money to waste would be so much better off, putting money in an individual retirement account where money grows either tax deferred or tax free in the case of a Roth. You're much better off investing in real companies with real products than you are in a phase that where you risk literally everything that you invest in it.
So, Stephen, while we're on that, the investment thing, Eddie and I have had people on before to talk about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, and everything I feel like I see is that it's a thing and it's a good investment. I don't understand it, so therefore I'm not going to invest in something I don't really understand. But from your perspective, is crypto a good thing? Let's say you know what you're doing with it. Is it a good thing to invest in versus just the S&P 500?
Well, it depends on a person's personality, their risk preference, their lifestyle, their financial situation. I wouldn't want to make one statement that applies to all people, but you've got to understand that cryptocurrency is merely a medium of exchange. It is not backed by anything. It is almost a version of electronic vaporware. And very different if you're investing in companies whose stocks are on the S&P Stock Exchange or the NASDAQ, companies that actually make goods, make things, make hard products, or provide unique services. That is always a safer bet than investing in something where there is no real there. Right. Crypto has been subject to an awful lot of hype, but it is essentially merely a medium of exchange. It is not a product, and it is unregulated at the moment, and the government is very concerned about it because a lot of thieves and criminals and terrorists launder money through cryptocurrencies.
We're talking to Steve Cotton, and Steve, to follow up on that point, isn't it a matter of time before this crypto stuff just kind of comes crashing down with no basis of support to it?
Bitcoin has been a roller coaster. There are people that have made a lot of money or marginally a lot of money in crypto on the run up, and then they rode it right back down. It's been a roller coaster. President Trump wants there to be some kind of a regulated cryptocurrency avenue for people, for investors. And the administration's recently approved certain sort of alternative investments to be used in 401k plans, including annuities and things like that. I am a huge advocate, however, for regulating crypto and hedge funds before ever allowing them in a company 401k plan. To do so otherwise is putting the cart before the horse and subjecting to all kinds of hazards, potential for loss. Hedge funds and cryptocurrency is the wild, wild west, and that needs to be regulated first and some guardrails put on that, and the shysters run out of those businesses before you would ever be a good steward opening up to 401k plans, in my opinion.
Now, Steve, here we're talking about these Labubu things and stuff, but I think that to go back to what we were talking about earlier, like say the Beanie Babies. Now, I think they did a movie about when the Beanie Baby craze just came crashing down, and I think that should be a documentary people should watch to look at what can happen to
tale.
you. Right, exactly.
I think that's exactly right. That's an excellent point because they were launched around 1995, and completely the craze crashed in 2000, and that left people with a lot of plush dolls of really relatively no value. If you're going to collect something for fun, collect it for fun, but don't put a lot of upfront cash into that because you could lose 95% of the value, and that is not a wise thing to do ever.
All right. Well, I was getting ready to hit the button on transferring my 401k into Labubus, but if you say no, I'll stop.
You'll thank me in the morning.
All right. With that, Steve Cotton, we will let you go. People want to find out more. Where can they go?
My website, we're in Dallas, Texas. I have clients all over the country and overseas, and my website is cotton, COTTON, WMA.com, cottonwma.com, and we just want to help people, and we do it with strong ethics and stewardship.
All right. With that, Steve, we'll let you go. Thanks so much.
Thank you.